Most business owners think the answer is to post more, and I used to also. I built up a social media audience to over 100,000 followers. I was investing in paid ads because the most amount of money that I spent on ads in a single month is a little over $100,000. And I realized that I was going the wrong way, just like so many business owners are, because the ones that are actually growing and pulling away from the pack, they're actually posting less. And my business started to really rise once I started to do the same also. So you actually need to just do less better. Woo! Social media is exhausting. When I was on that content creation hamster wheel, I was posting 3 to 5 times per day. Then I had an overnight strategy that I called an infomercial strategy, where I would post another 5 times between the hours of midnight and 5 a.m. Then by 6 a.m., I would delete all those posts. Then I'm doing stories. I'm going live. I was doing a weekly live webinar each and every single Thursday. I started up a podcast so I could cut up those clips to put them on every other platform. Then I was investing in paid ads as well. Man, it was exhausting, got burnt out, and my business started to tank. And then once I stopped all of that, started to build a true digital asset for myself, my business started to, once I actually started to just focus in on the best discoverability platform that exists. And you're on it right now. It's YouTube. And it's only going to take me about 5 minutes to break down how you can actually build your income, impact, and influence by doing less. So if you don't have about 5 minutes to spare, then you may just end up being a burnt out, broke, busted, and disgusted content creator. But look, YouTube is the ultimate discoverability platform because it's the biggest streaming platform, period. So YouTube is bigger than Amazon Prime, Netflix, HBO Max, you name it, YouTube is bigger than. That's why Netflix is even trying to compete with YouTube right now. If you haven't noticed, a lot of podcasts are going over to Netflix. That's because Netflix did a deal with the media conglomerate called iHeartMedia to bring their best podcasts over to try to compete with YouTube. Also, outside of it being the number one streaming platform, period, on planet Earth, it is the number two search engine. So, Google, which is the number one search engine, it owns YouTube, right? So, with this discoverability engine, you can actually just build a true digital asset on this platform that will compound over time and build your income, impact, and influence over time as well with your offer to the marketplace. Now, how it used to be in yesteryears were that the loudest person with the biggest ad budget wins online. That's not the case anymore because everything is interest-based media right now. And short form social media content, it's here today, gone tomorrow, or for most people, it's literally here today, gone today. Whereas YouTube content is not about what it does today. It's about getting those right views for weeks, months, and literal years to come. And you get paid to build your income, impact, and influence instead of paying for advertisement to try to build your income, impact, and influence. When I was running Facebook ads, I was getting charged about a $30 CPM. If you're not familiar with CPM, CPM just stands for cost per mil. Mil's just a fancy word for 1,000. So for 1,000 impressions, I was paying somewhere around $25 to $30. Well, if we just look at my YouTube analytics, let's just go here for the past month. 2.5 million impressions. Let me just go ahead and screenshot that right here. Let's bring that into the old whiteboard of truth and justice. So if we look at this right here, oops, I just got 2.5 million impressions when I don't even have the biggest YouTube channel yet. So if we just do some simple math on this 2.5 million impressions, 2.5 million divided by 1,000 is 2,500. Well, if I take this 2,500 and I multiply that by 30, what is it? Do the math for me, whiteboard. That's $75,000. I just got $75,000 worth of the same amount of impressions that I would have had to pay for Facebook ads. I just got that for free. That's a pretty good business decision, I think. And even outside of that, didn't get it for free. I got paid not that much money because getting paid from views isn't the goal here, but $3,600. So I got paid a few $1,000s to build my income, impact, and influence online and create a true digital asset of a YouTube channel that's going to compound over time, that has an offer attached to that that's going to compound over time as well. Now, think about this. If I did want to run advertising, what better place to run ads to than these people that recently viewed my channel and all these people that have been aware of my channel because they have at least been shown it with an actual impression. And an impression is just an eyeball, not a view. If I did want to run ads, the most profitable ads to run are retargeting ads. So now I have an entire great pool of people to retarget ads to. And think about all the ads that you skip on a daily basis. Why do you skip them all? Why do you skip every single ad that's in this YouTube video? Because you have no brand familiarity with them and you don't know, like, or trust them. But if any ad does grab your attention, you're most likely familiar with the brand already. So you might stay to listen to what they have to say, or you may stay to read whatever that headline is on that ad or something like that, right? So outside of that, you get to save a lot of money in advertising. I would much rather get paid a few $1,000s than pay a huge lump sum for the same amount of eyeballs and attention. And there's been a study by Google that said it takes somebody on average 7 hours of consuming content from somebody to make a purchasing decision. Well, what better place to go to outside of YouTube, which in the past month alone, people have spent 24,000 hours watching my content. Somebody has to watch a lot of short videos in order to get that all together, when a lot of times people tell me in my comments that they've watched hours of my content in one day or a couple of days. You get what I call the binge and buy effect to kick in, because when you're thinking of leveraging a micro niche YouTube channel as your true digital asset, you start to get a flywheel effect going. So whereas you only make content for your avatar, to whereas then YouTube's algorithm knows who you're making your content for and it starts to categorize your content, to whereas they'll put you in front of more people using their organic traffic sources, which will fit with more people that fit your avatar's profile. Now, here's a great thing. How I said that YouTube is such a discoverability engine. It's because of this right here. So even though this flywheel is right here, you have so many different traffic sources within YouTube that start to compound as well. So for one, you start to get suggested to people on the home page, on the home screen. Also, you start to get suggested traffic. Think about this. When you're watching YouTube, think about the sidebar, that suggested traffic. Think about when you get done watching a video, it gives you other videos right after the end screen and whatnot. That's suggested traffic. If I go to my YouTube analytics again, and if I just look at my traffic sources for the past month, most of my viewership is coming in from, you'll see here, browse and suggested. That's me making stuff that I already know people want to see. So YouTube is going to put it on people's home screens, which is the browse. And then YouTube is also going to show my stuff suggested next to content that people are already watching that is similar to mine. So think about this. The audience that you desire to have to build your business online, it already exists. You don't have to go out and find your audience. Think about this. I didn't come out and find you. YouTube just placed my content in front of you and I understand packaging and positioning, and I made my video look enticing to you to where your eyeball gravitated to it. You made the decision to click on it, and now you're watching it and you're truly getting value, right? That's from YouTube's browse and suggested features. Now, also, something else is that you'll get search traffic. Now, search traffic, this is huge as well. The old ways of YouTube is to just optimize for search. That still works. I do make searchable content. The two videos I posted actually ago from this video, I optimized that for search. It probably won't perform the best out the gate, but over time, it's going to become a searchable asset because it has a long tail key phrase that thousands of people are searching for each month. So over time, I'm going to start to get in front of those thousands of people over the next month, 3 months, half a year, and 2 years to come, right? But search traffic, it will be a slower build. The home screen and suggested, it'll be a faster build for your actual channel. But making searchable content is a more net fire for sure thing, to whereas you will get the right viewership over time and it will trickle in over time as well. Well, guess what? You'll start to get search traffic from the YouTube search bar thing. We all use the YouTube search bar quite frequently. And then once you start to become a trusted authority within your actual niche, in your space, in your market, people are going to start to search your actual name, and that will be searchable traffic as well. And you'll get external search traffic from Google, because Google is the #1 search engine. Have you ever Googled stuff and YouTube videos pop up? Now, that will be external traffic. So you'll get external traffic from Google. You'll get external traffic from people sharing your content. Think about this. When people receive something of value, by nature, they just go and they share it with other people. A couple months ago, I had told my neighbor about the guy that cuts my grass. Guess what? He now cuts my neighbor's grass. They told another neighbor, now he cuts like 7 or 8 lawns on my street, all because I got good quality value from him. Just by nature, I became an ambassador or an evangelist for him, went and spread the word. Other people shared that. That's the same exact thing that happens with YouTube content. People start to share your content. If I look at, let's see here. You'll see here, you see that I have external traffic. You see these other YouTube videos or direct or unknown. There's people actually sharing my content externally. This stuff, it gives you a better breakdown when you're on YouTube Studio on the actual computer. I highly advise, if you are going to be looking in your YouTube Studio, to only look at it on your computer screen, because it gives you more actual data than the mobile app. But these are all the external traffic sources that you will get from YouTube. It's a discovery magnet. It's a discovery engine. Now, once you start to get this flywheel effect coming in right here, well, now you simply just attach your offer to your content. You'll make the money. Then people will get their desired transformation. Think about this. People, they don't buy information. They buy transformation. They buy results. They buy a new identity, which then that ambassador effect, or what I like to call evangelism, people become an evangelist for you, which then leads to more people buying your actual offer. So the name of the game is building a true digital asset and treating each YouTube video like an actual offer, and don't just try to sell your stuff. Create valuable content around problems that people are searching for each and every single day. I first started off simply optimizing for search, because I knew if I had absolutely no audience whatsoever, nobody cares about Aston CEO. And that's what you need to understand as well. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about your business. Nobody cares about your offer. Everybody's selfish, as they should be. People are self-sufficient first. So they're on the internet and they're on YouTube each and every single day, searching and looking and scouring the internet for solutions to their problems. And think about this. This is why YouTube's so powerful also, because everybody comes to YouTube to learn about and how to do any and everything. Even people that want to grow short form social media pages and whatnot, they don't go on Instagram to learn about how to grow on Instagram. They come on YouTube for that. People don't go to TikTok to learn how to grow on TikTok. They come to YouTube for that. People don't go on Instagram or TikTok or even YouTube to learn about how to do faceless content on any of those platforms. They come to YouTube to learn from somebody with the face how to do the faceless stuff on every other platform, including faceless YouTube. They listen to a face on how to do faceless YouTube. Why? Because the people that have built the business around that understand that we're living in the trust economy, and people buy things from people that they know, like, and trust. And ain't nobody about to buy something from a faceless thing, but they'll buy it from a person that's a trusted authority, right? So you attach a flywheel, you attach these flywheels which actually go into one another with this discoverability platform. You start to get this compounding effect that's crazy. And then you start to treat each actual YouTube video, instead of thinking of it like content creators, you're thinking of it as true digital assets, as they actually are. Because just like I said, I got paid a little under $4,000 this past month in just ad revenue, right? I think it was $3,500 or $3,600. I forgot what I shared a little earlier. But the first business that I got started in when I first fired my job April 1st, 2016 was real estate. I thought that I would get started in this small niche called wholesaling. Then I would graduate to flipping properties. Then I would be a landlord. And then I would have all this passive income and cash flow coming in each month. But people, they don't tell you that for a single family house, good monthly cash flow on that, like people in real estate for one single family property, if you're making like $400 to $600 a month, people say that you're killing it. Well, guess what? You got to go get a lot of doors for that. And just for that one single property, people don't talk about if your AC goes out or something like that. That's your entire year's profit just down the drain. And you have to pay interest on loans. You have to pay property taxes. You have to pay insurance. You have to do repairs, maintenance, all that type of stuff. Well, with the Micro Niche YouTube channel, I can get more cash flow and not have to worry about all the expenses that come in to effect with actual real estate. I can build digital real estate, and all this stuff is going to compound over time because YouTube is the only evergreen platform. And while all of these videos are making a passive income, I hate that word passive income. You need to be thinking about active income until you have such an abundance of cash flow that you're looking for long-term investment vehicles to dump it in over time and for tax advantages and stuff like that. But this kind of is like passive income because I already created the video. So those digital assets are making daily, predictable monthly income over time. And they're all driving traffic, and they're all driving the right eyeballs to that digital asset that I actually own, that's truly building my income, impact, and influence over time. So you have two methods that you can go about this. For one, you can just drive them directly to your offer, directly to your digital products, directly to book a call if you offer a service or something like that. Or you can tie it to some type of email list. So you can do it to your email list to whereas you'll later market to people to make the money, or you can tie it directly to an offer to where you monetize. And this offer could be something that's low ticket. It could be a community. It can be whatever it is that you deem viable, right? But the name of the game is ownership. We don't own these platforms. And even with YouTube, I don't own YouTube. I'm not saying to just 100% depend on YouTube, but you want to build some type of digital asset that you own. You want to build an email list, whether it's a free email list or a paid email list, or something that I'm finding is even more powerful, a community, whether it's free or paid. You want to direct your traffic to something to where you own, to where you control the flow of traffic with the actual audience that you own, because we don't control the flow of traffic with the algorithm. Once we understand the algorithm and understand that the algorithm is simply just people, well, we can make the stuff to serve the people for the stuff that they're already showing through hard data that they want to watch, and just make it for them. So YouTube just places you in front of them, and that's pretty simple to do once you understand it. But we need to own something to where we control the flow of communication with our audience. We own the audience, and we can directly communicate with our audience. Any of these platforms are not going to show your content to 100% of people. But if you own something like an email list or a community, depending on your open rates for your emails, if you write good headlines and stuff like that, which YouTube helps you with that, because think about packaging on a YouTube video. A YouTube video is simply just a thumbnail and a title, right? Well, that's no different than running an ad, or that's no different than writing email copy that has a curiosity-driven headline or subject line to make somebody click on it. That's all that a YouTube thumbnail and title is. It's simply just positioning of packaging. This is just like, what is the thing that's going to grab the eyeballs' attention? And the title is simply just like a captivating email subject line that'll get them to click. This also helps you in email marketing and whatnot, because packaging and positioning on YouTube is simply just copywriting. It all goes hand in hand, right? But we can control the flow if we have good open rates on our emails, or if we have a community to where people are active and it's a thriving community. We can control the flow of communication as well. So if you're just thinking like this, and you're treating YouTube like the true digital asset that it actually is, and driving it to something that you own, and creating this flywheel effect right here, to where your business starts to grow and compound on itself over time with the past energy, the past work, the past inertia, the past that past energy will be working for you in the future. And YouTube is the only platform that has this compounding effect with the discoverability of it. And you can actually focus on doing less things better, and really truly just lock in and focus on the one platform. And focus stands for follow one course until successful. That's so many entrepreneurs' problems, is that they're trying to do each and everything and not realizing that each and everything is basically like running separate businesses. And then they're trying to post content on each and every single platform, not realizing that each and every single platform is hitting people's brains at different points, and they're all designed differently. That's why that whole repurposed content everywhere stuff doesn't work for most people unless you already have a power brand. And the people that does work for, you'll see if you trace their origins, their strongest platform is YouTube, and then they just let everything trickle over from that. But they focus on that because they know that that is what is going to have the biggest amount of impact on people, which a byproduct of that is that their influence is going to rise. And the summation of your impact and influence rising is that your income will rise, just like all them that you see on the screen right now. And if you're ready to turn your YouTube channel into a digital product sales system, and system stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money, then go ahead and click the link down in the description and join this Credit at the Top community. I look forward to building with you. But this stuff works if you work it, and I'm so glad that I left social media behind, even after building up audiences of over $100,000 and spending all that money on ads, because it's a lot more peaceful. I can actually do less things better, and I can truly add value to people and deliver them true transformation by simply just sitting here and talking for about 5 minutes or so. So go ahead and check out this video right here about how contentpreneurs are quietly taking over the creator space, and they're having much far impact on people with smaller audiences, because you don't need a big audience to make this stuff work. It's Credit at the Top.